Hello, guys. Welcome back to the 100 Baby Challenge. Unfortunately, today's episode is going to be a voiceover because when I was filming this video, unbeknownst to me, I was having problems with my microphone, and the first half of the episode recorded the audio perfectly fine. Then it started glitching out and then it just disappeared completely. So now, unfortunately, I have to do a voiceover, and I was actually very excited about this episode because a lot of good things happened and I was reacting to them um, in real time as they were happening, obviously, which made me very excited to put this episode out. But now I have to use what I have, and that means we're doing a voiceover. So I will highlight some of the very exciting moments that happened during this episode. We did get quite a lot done. So just to recap, last time we aged up the triplet infants because we were working very, very hard on their milestones, and they became toddlers, which now means we have to work on those toddler skills. The teenager and the two kids are working on school projects, and I will be enlisting the help of Zucchini once she finishes a certain amount of school projects, just to help with the toddler skills, because two of the toddlers are actually independent, so they can do the posturing by themselves, but it does really help when someone else is helping them. Also, you might notice during the episode that Harry's mood never goes down. I know we have the plum bite, but that is just unnatural. There was obviously a glitch, which I promise you guys I was not cheating it. It was just glitching throughout this whole episode. So if you do notice that, that is why that is happening. But now we are going to start with the toddler skill building while the kids are upstairs working on their school projects. Okay, so I was thinking that each of the three toddlers will start working on different skills. So we started Harry off with the communication skill. He was babbling to the bear. Then Hermione, I was starting off with the imagination skill by playing in the tent. We know that that is a very good way to build the imagination skill. It just goes right up. And little Hannah is going to start on the movement skill by sliding down that slide a couple of hundred times. As you can see here, Zucchini finished another school project. I was pretty confident that Zucchini was going to get an A once she goes to school on Monday. So I didn't need her to do much more, which is why I was able to enlist her help with regards to the toddlers. So the kids, Olaf and Ophelia, were working on school projects the majority of the time. I did give them a break here and there to play like computer games or just do something else. But Zucchini, I believe, had done quite enough to get an A. So I wasn't going to have her do too much more. And instead, I was going to have her work with the toddlers on building their skills, because when you have the help of an adult or a teenager in this case, the skills do go up quite a lot quicker, which is what we want. So as you can see here already, Harry has communication level 2. It is moving on up. And little Olaf also got some skills there from doing the school project, which is honestly such a big bonus. So the kids were just flying through the school projects, so I had to reset the room a bit. And then, of course, we got them to continue working on those. And little Harry, who reached communication level 3, so we had to move on to the next skill. So I was noticing this, they gave me the pop-up that they reached it, but it was taking a bit to tick off, but he did actually get there. So now that the communications was done, I needed to get him to work on another skill because, we needed to make sure that they get aged up as soon as possible, because we need to get this thing moving. So I was getting Zucchini to actually teach Harry some flashcards, which is probably not the quickest way to learn the thinking skill, but it is very helpful. And then we got the movement level 3 for Hannah, which was just fantastic. They were really building the skills quite quickly. Well, not quickly, but it was a lot better having the Plumbite because the skills we were just able to work on them constantly. I think that's why it probably felt quicker to me because they were just constantly working. So yeah, here you can see Zucchini is teaching Harry some flashcards, and then I decided while she's doing that, I'm gonna get the other toddlers to just watch her teaching him because then we know that watching older Sims really does get the thinking skill up a lot quicker. So I figured, you know what, let's just get that up for all of the toddlers because we know the thinking skill does take some time. Thinking and potty skill really are the two that really gets you. So Hermione reached communication level 3 as well. So I figured since she is done with that, she might as well come over to um, watch Zucchini teaching Harry as well. Let's just get the thinking skill out of the way, honestly, because it is a lot. Working on the thinking skill can be very exhausting. So I figured while Zucchini is over here teaching Harry the flashcards, we might as well capitalize on that and have the other two toddlers watch her to gain the thinking skill as well. So we just had all three toddlers working on the thinking skill at the same time, which honestly was, I believe, the smartest way to do it because they did gain the thinking skill quite quickly, which is just fantastic. The watch thing really is a hack. Like, I'm really glad that I saw that in a video because that just really made getting the thinking skill a lot easier. And then as you can see here, it just flew up. The thinking skill was going very quickly, which I was very happy about. So as you can see, they just gained that thinking skill so quickly, which means that we can just move on to all of the other skills that they need to learn with one of the more difficult ones out of the way. So that is exactly what we did. Little Hannah started working on the imagination skill after she gained her thinking skill. And I set Hermione up to continue watching to make sure that she also got her thinking skill up and away. I mean, this watching thing really is a lifesaver. So yes, the toddlers were working on the thinking skill with Zucchini's help, of course. I have to say during this episode, Zucchini really came through. And as you can see, the kids they were flying through the school projects. I had to reset the room quite a few times during the episode. But yes, okay, now we're back down with the toddlers. Little Hannah just got her imagination skill and it was time to move on to the next skill. So we started working on the communication. She started babbling to the unicorn to get that up and going. And then little Harry got the thinking skill as well. So that was out of the way for all three of the toddlers, which honestly was amazing. I had to continue stopping Zucchini from doing more school projects because she honestly didn't need to. So I wanted them to save the school projects for the other kids, but she just constantly wanted to go do it for some reason. But I needed to enlist her help with other things. As you can see, Cassandra is already helping with the potty training. I believe she is potty training Hermione at the moment because I can't see, she's kind of blocking my view, but yeah, because Hannah's working on communication. So then I got Zucchini to go ahead and potty train Harry, even though he did get the independent trait, which means he can do it by himself. I think that wait, okay, I think I switched it. But anyway, having them potty train with an adult does make the skill go up quite a lot quicker. So, okay, I think we rotated because we only have two potties. So I was rotating the toddlers with the potty skill. And there we go. Look at the skills, guys. The skill building in this episode was amazing. And honestly, The live reactions were a lot better, but I don't know what happened to my audio. I've been playing around with the settings for 2 days now to try and figure out what went wrong. But yes, we rotated the potty training so that all of the toddlers got some help from a grown up or zucchini to make sure that the skill went up a little faster, because honestly, training with the older sim really does help. Of course, they did have to work on their own as well. But I really thought that since I do now have a teenager who can help, I was definitely going to be using that help while I have it to make sure that we get those skills up as quickly as possible to get the toddlers aged up into kids, because once they're kids, they basically just take care of themselves. And then maybe Cassandra can focus on making some money, because when we hit baby number 35, we are moving, which means you guys need to comment which world you think we need to go to, and what type of house you guys want us to move to. That we will be doing once we reach 35 babies. So as you can see here, little Harry was a trooper. He only had the movement and potty skill left at the end to get to level 3. Hermione and Hannah were also doing quite well, not gonna lie. They did really well. And of course, little Hermione also got the independent trait, so she was just doing the things. And the toddlers were really just working with me at this point. They were really not troublesome at all, which made it a lot better. I think obviously that is thanks to the Palumbite, because their needs were always just perfect. And I think partly there were some glitches going on, because usually they get upset or something when they're playing with the blocks too much, or they're tired of the flashcards. That's something that the Plumbite doesn't affect, but I really do think that there's been a lot of glitching going on, which I can't really do much about. There we go. Harry got movement level 3, which means he only has the potty skill left at this point. So this was amazing. But yeah, there was definitely some glitching going on, because when the two kids played on the PC, that game that helps with their motor skill, they got to level 10 of the motor skill in like 2 seconds, which is definitely a glitch. So I'm sorry for the glitches, but you know, we had to work with them. Anyway, little Harry was just flying through the skills and had only the potty left. So while his sister was being potty trained, I figured let's just do the watching thing that helps with the potty skill. It doesn't obviously help that much, but at this point, every little bit helped. Any like 2%, if it goes up 2%, would help. So I was just making sure to optimize the skill building to make sure that we got these toddlers ready to go as soon as possible. So anything that I could use, I used. Of course, they didn't always want to work with me. As you can see, little Hannah here was wandering off by herself, but she was so close to getting that skill that I was like, listen, just one last time and then you're home free. In the end, Hannah actually ended up being a very, very good toddler. She really got to skill building very quickly, and she gained her skills quite well. We just had another pop up here asking for some advice. We just choose the normal options because, of course, and then we sent little Hannah back to the potty because she was so close to getting that skill. And again, Zucchini just wanted to go up and do some school projects, which was honestly just very annoying. And our cakes were glitching. Look at that! Potty level 3. It's still exciting, even if I'm reacting to it after the fact. Getting the potty skill up is honestly something worth celebrating in this game. And as you can see, little Hermione had all her skills at level 3, which means that little Hermione was ready to age up. Now, it did take quite a while to get that to happen because glitches. So first the cakes were glitching, then Cassandra was glitching. I tried to get Cassandra to age up the babies while Zucchini would help out, but then it ended up being Zucchini who helped the babies age up because for some reason Cassandra couldn't do it, but Zucchini could do it, so it was a whole thing. But little Hermione was the first of the toddlers to reach level 3 in all her skills, which honestly, we do know that her namesake is a bit of an overachiever. So, that was not unexpected at all. So there's another potty level 3 for Hannah as well. You guys, I was so excited when this happened because honestly, the potty skill is so annoying. And I do feel very bad having the toddlers just constantly on the potty. Like, if this were real life, they would have been like dehydrated and basically dead on the floor. But luckily, this is The Sims, and it is possible to potty 5 million times in a row and not die. So, as you can see here, Zucchini was helping little Hermione age up into a kid. For some reason, only Zucchini was able to do it. But you know what? The fact that I was able to do it without AMC Command Center was a blessing because the glitches were just being glitchy as heck. So little Hermione was first of our toddlers to finally age up into a child. And I did use the random number thing on the phone to get the aspiration. Obviously, you guys won't be able to hear it because audio issues. So we randomized the trait and she got active, and the aspiration that she got, if I don't really remember. So we'll both see now as I'm doing this voice. Oh yeah, she got one of the young, what is this, multi skills, and she got the playtime captain, which is so cute. And of course, every time after so many skills and so many things achieved, we did save because I was doing a previous video that I was trying to do, and I got kicked out after half an hour and all of my progress was lost. You'd think I'd learned by this point, but I had not. So for this specific video, I saved constantly, and now it was little Hannah's turn to age up. She actually did reach all of the skills. I did check. I don't know if I included it in the edited version of the video, but I did double check each of the times to make sure that they do actually have all of their skills at level 3. So Hermione and Hannah, the two girlies, were the first two of the toddlers to age up, even though Harry, I think, was the firstborn from the triplets. So, he had some catching up to do. And little Hannah was a music lover, which I just thought was brilliant because, she was named after Hannah Montana. So, it was just cute. And then she got the rambunctious scamp aspiration, which pretty good. Pretty good. We had 2 out of the 3 toddlers ready to age up. And then little Harry came through and got level 3 in the potty skill, which meant that it was time for little Harry to join his sisters in childhood and be aged up by his big sister, Zucchini. So all in all, basically the toddlers were toddlers for not a long time. They were infants for like a day. I think they were toddlers for like a day or less than a day too, which is honestly brilliant because that means that this challenge is about to go a lot faster than it has been going. I know we kind of got off to a slow start. Here's little Harry aging up. Of course, we did need to get the little picture. We have to get a little picture. It's so cute. So now we had all 3 of the toddlers aged up, which means no more toddler skill building, at least for now. We randomized and got erratic, which is just fantastic. And honestly, doesn't that really track for Harry Potter? He does do some things that you're like, questionable. And he got the WizKid aspiration, which I think would have been better suited for Hermione, but be it as it may. And then after the toddlers had aged up, it was time to focus on the kiddos who are now, there are 5 of them. There's 1 teenager and 5 kids, and that meant that it was time to do some homework. Now, I was pretty sure that the kids weren't going to go to, the 3 toddlers that just aged up weren't going to go to school because obviously they aged up a little late, but I still added them to the club to start working on their homework and school projects to make sure that we can make sure that when they do go to school, we have good grades. And also, I was going through the crystals that we harvested to sell to make some money for our new house. And I found this one, which when charged means that the wearer cannot die. And I thought, well, that is just perfect for our 100 baby matriarch, because we kind of, if we can keep her alive for the entire challenge, that would kind of be just perfect. So I was like, okay, we are definitely making something from this crystal. I think we ended up making earrings, so that once it's charged, she's going to be wearing those and make sure that she doesn't die, which means hopefully we can keep the same matriarch throughout the entire challenge. I mean, the Crystal Creations pack just really was a game changer for the 100 Baby Challenge, because, I mean, we got the Plumbite, which really helped with just the needs not being needed. And then this crystal that we just found, I just was honestly scrolling through to sell some things to make money. And this one just popped into our life from our brilliant crystal tree. And, now we can never die, which is just fantastic. Our matriarch is going to live forever and be the mother of hopefully all 100 of our 100 babies for this challenge, which honestly, kind of amazing if we are able to do that. And that is technically not cheating because it's in game. Also, I'm getting really nervous about moving, because if we have to move our crystal tree, does it reset and we have to let it grow again? Because that would be upsetting. So here you can see all of the kids are just working away. The 3 toddlers that aged up are doing school project. The Olaf and Ophelia and Zucchini are just playing some games on the PC because they have been doing school projects. So everyone was just upstairs working away. It was actually quite nice to see all of the kids together in one room, just working and, bonding, so that they actually can say that I knew my siblings. Here we were waiting for them to come back from school. As you can see, we are just patiently waiting to see if their grades went up. So Harry was actually the only one of the toddlers that did not go to school. He was the only one that aged up too late. So the other 2 actually did go up and went to school. So Zucchini went up to an A, and the other kids went up to B students. So that means hopefully one more day of school, and they are also going to be able to be aged up into teenagers. I sent Zucchini off on a little jog before I aged her up, because I think if she's in this mood when she ages up into a young adult, she can die, which I really did not want, even though she still would have counted because she died as a young adult. I just still didn't want her to die. So she went off on a little jog. The other kiddos started their club gathering and started working on their homework immediately, because, we need those grades. We need those A's. You need to become teenagers. Imagine 5 teenagers once the new babies are born. I think Cassandra ended the episode in her 2nd trimester. So by the next episode, we're going to have new babies in the house, and we're going to have teenagers to actually help out. Zucchini eventually came back in a better mood, and I did age her up. But there were, again, a lot of glitches. I don't know. She was able to help the toddlers age up with the cake, but for Zucchini, there were, I just remember, quite a lot of glitches. I don't know if I ended up having her blow out the candles, if I eventually figured it out, or if I just used MC Command Center, but she did get an A, and she did age up and move out of the house. I was sad to see her go, because she was such a big help with the toddlers. But, we needed some space in the house for when the new baby comes. And I know as of the time that I am doing this voiceover, the Sims team has put out a thing that there will be a patch soon that is going to fix the issue with the pregnancy, because after the big update with the new expansion pack, a lot of people noticed that was a problem. So as I'm doing this voiceover, there will be a patch coming soon. I don't know, time zones are a bit different, to fix the whole pregnancy issue. So hopefully we will be back to seeing what the pregnancy phases are for Cassandra, because that has been something I had to continuously go into MC Command Center to check how far along she was, which was very annoying. Yes, here you can see the cakes were very, very glitched. I couldn't get zucchini to age up with the cakes, I think. So I think I did end up just setting her age through MC Command Center, which honestly is quite annoying. I do kind of like the whole thing of them blowing out the candles. It's just very 100 baby for them to blow out the candles. And so Zucchini, baby number 26, was ready to move out of the house. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode despite the audio issues. I am hoping to have them fixed soon. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. See you in the next one. Bye!